guys, and welcome back to Great Kids. Today I'm going to be reviewing Knives Out, but before we begin, we are going to start a new thing called Intros with Cameron. So Cameron, take away the intro.
So hello, this is what is this, the fifth time I've done, eater videos?
Fifth time.
Yeah, the fifth time I've done eater videos. Now, all you guys watching, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Right now, we have 6 billion 10. On the right side, I'm gonna put like and subscribe, and hit the bell. Yes, and I'm also gonna put wings on it.
That's his signature thing. So, if you ever see those wings, that means Cameron has edited the video. So, and his signature talk continues. So that is our first intro with Cameron. So
Bye, and I'll get you back to Leah, who's going to review this knife thingy.
Knives Out. So here is my review for Knives Out. Also, at this very moment, Cameron is editing this video. That doesn't make sense. It's okay. A lot of people don't understand. Harlan Thrombey, an American novelist, has been found dead at his estate. All of his family members are there, so they're all suspects. Benedict Blanc has come to investigate, and each family member has a story to tell, and they all are lying. So really, what they're saying is complete nonsense. They're all lying. And it really tells how much people lie. And then Marta Cabrera, the nurse, comes in, and then they heard that she throws up when she lies. And so she's kind of like what they use through this entire case. And so he's found dead. Everyone is told to stay until the investigation's over. And Marta is getting blackmailed, but she doesn't know it. And it said, "I know what you did." And so she shows this Ransom, and if you don't know who Ransom is, Harlan had 3 kids, Walt, Linda, and one of them died, and I'm not really sure what that name is. But, so we had 3 kids, 2 actually lived, and Linda's kid, Ransom, is like the most naughty brat man kid alive. That doesn't make sense. He's a grown man who's also a spoiled brat. That's the best I can describe it. And there's the cookies that he's eating are the best cookies ever. And whenever I eat them, I always call them Knives Out cookies because Ransom eats them. And they are very delicious. They're Biscoff cookies, and they're more of like a bread biscuit. They're like a bread sugary biscuit, but they're delicious. And you can get them at Costco. And so yeah. And Blanc, so Ransom is like evil almost, but good. He's an evil good. But before Marta was getting blackmailed, Harlan had his will, and in his will, he had the house, $60 million plus in funds, and everything that he owned and had. and it said, everything in my will go to Marta Cabrera.
All my assets, both liquid and otherwise, I leave in their entirety to Marta Cabrera,
who is the nurse, who is one of those main suspects in the Harlan Thrombey murder. So, yeah, and so then, when she was getting blackmailed, she went to this testing place where it said, okay, it had her medical bag photoshopped onto a piece of paper, and it had it like a testing facility for cases like these. And so she and Ransom drove there. It was completely burnt down, and Blanc, Trooper Wagner, and Lieutenant Elliott all went chasing after them, and this was the most hilarious car scene in a movie that I've ever seen. They were going 50, 60 miles tops, and then the cops were going like 100 miles an hour, and Ransom was like, is this the fastest you can go? And she was like, I'm hitting my foot as hard as I can. And it was obviously a really slow car. And so then she and Blanc went, they were going to go to station, but she, on her thing, it said Columbus Road 10 a.m. She got an email that said Columbus Road 10 a.m. And so she was gonna go there, but she saw it was 9:58, so she was gonna go to this. She said she had to pick up something. So she went through this barber shop into the back, went from a back of a store, it was like a laundry store, the washer machine store, and in there was Franz. If you don't know who Franz is, Harlan's maid. And so Franz was at the laundromat, and she said, you did it. And so then Marta called the ambulance, and Blanc went with her to the hospital. And when she got there, she was in the waiting room, but then her and Blanc went back to the house, and then at that point they pieced it together, and it was slowly coming together because Marta got a phone call from the hospital saying that Franz had died, but she faked it, and so she said, oh, that's great news, thank you, doctor. And then she lied, and she said Franz is alive. And then Blanc started to piece it together, and they knew it all along. Harlan's murder was a suicide. So they knew it all along, but then after that, Marta threw up on Ransom. Ransom got really mad, and then Ransom tried to kill Marta, but it failed, and so it went like, and then like the knife came back out, and then it looked like she was actually being stabbed, but really it was fake. And so then Ransom was arrested, but Marta messed up the drugs that she gave Harlan. She actually gave him the right drugs. So she gave him the wrong ones, but she actually gave him the right ones, if that makes sense. So really, if she called the ambulance, Harlan would have been alive, but no. And then everyone got all mad because of the will, and so Marta got to keep the house, and sadly everyone got kicked out. But it was a really good ending, and I'm glad Marta stayed at the house, and this was my second favorite movie I've ever watched. It was great. I loved it. The cast includes Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, and Anna de Armas, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon. That's just to name a few, and it's incredible. I really enjoy this movie, and if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified every time we upload. Stay tuned for my next review.